show at the Brickyard.
And you saw Sam Mayer right there put his hand out the window, kind of referencing to the car behind him of when you can start pushing, trying to time that out just right. That's his teammate Sheldon Creed. They both want to get clear of Sanchez on the outside as he's hanging on.
Right, it's just like super speedways. You want to sort of push as hard as you can into that first corner. Now that leaves Sheldon Creed inside of Nick Sanchez. He's up to fed 2x2 as Sam Mayer vaults away from the field.
Creed just a little bit conservative on the inside. Probably a good choice early in the race. Let Sanchez get back to his outside. The draft here is huge. Look at the 7 pushing Eric Almirola down the backstretch, who has a massive run on the inside.
This is such a fun place right here when you talk about the draft. Entering the corner, the blocking that will go on, the runs that you can get. Brandon Jones, that fluorescent number 20, slides into 4th. Love going in the wrong direction just a bit in the 2. Just outside the top.
Somebody broke down here.
Down in turn 3. That can get seriously tight. They were able to make it all through, but it was very tight for us.
All the inside blocking Justin Allgaier.
Allgaier almost hit the wall there. It was Zilich behind him.
Yeah, I think he did hit the wall right there. It's hard to know how far down you can go because he's right behind Eric, who was blocking him. And the one thing that you got to pay attention to today, and it's timing out the passes. I heard Sam Mayer reference he didn't get to race here last year, and it's really important at this racetrack, that pass between turns 1 and 2 and between 3 and 4, if you're not able to clear them and you get side by side like we saw in that last lap, that leaves you very vulnerable, like we see right here with Allgaier and his teammate Carson on his inside. The draft is just so big when these cars with this rules package get side by side.
Take a look at this block here. Yeah, and there's some drainage down there that sort of caused that bump, and you see the 7 jump up and down, and it's sort of laid over on the left rear. Wow.
Even a little bit of contact right there with the 19's quarter panel.
But did you see Zilich? I mean, Zilich had so much momentum. It's like, where does he go? And he's bouncing all over the place. This is the Hellman's onboard camera.
Yeah, and this is like the 2-for-1 pass. It's the perfect pass that you want. But Eric saw it coming. And listen, Eric is really good at drafting style racetracks. And I bring that up because at those type tracks, you have to learn how to block. Oh, he got trouble.
Harrison Burton involved in that bubble battle, and we get our first caution of the day 3 laps in.
Make sure that your fenders are okay if you got flats.
He met 19th.
Best case scenario for him to spin. We saw multiple cars spin in that same area yesterday and have contact with the wall. I don't think he has a flat tire, and with the way this race works out, you might not be a set of tires behind. You will be a set of tires behind, but they're not going to be as important here as some of the other tracks.
By the way, Logan Bearden had pulled to pit road and gone a lap down. We'll follow up with that in a moment. First, the spin off the corner.
He's just trying to stay off of the 16 right there.
It was pretty. He's already half spun out there as we got to him, and I think that it's what you see is when you're side by side. These cars have been sketchy all weekend. This track is so slick right now, and you just lose that side force. You start chasing the car up. We see guys do it by themselves. But looking where the 16 is there, he just lost the side force, went around. Didn't hit anything, as he said. And with his battle on the playoff battle against his cousin, he can't afford to take it.
Eventful start here at Indianapolis.
Sam's an accordion.
Yeah, they hadn't connected really well, but then Eric Almirola made it a 3-car push there that really rocked him out ahead of the 48 Nick Sanchez, and now Eric's on the inside Nick Sanchez.
I thought Larson was going to make it 3 wide. He was able to back out, let Jeremy Clements get clear. Ford's out front. Sanchez goes 3rd. Almirola 4th off the corner.
As we look further back, just pay attention further back the field here as they get those runs. Guys will block to the inside, try to not make it 3 wide. You don't want to be 3 wide down into turn 3.
See all those junior motorsports cars tied together right there. Zilich leading them. Allgaier right behind him, and then Carson Quapple right here on the outside, and Jesse Love. See if he can get him clear. Get that little bit of a draft down the straightaway.
Here we go, 3 wide. Jeremy Clements, William Sawalich, Steve Thompson, Ryan Seaton.
Austin Hill.
Oh, through the middle. Look at the run that Austin Hill has.
And Larson with
trying
him.
to get Dean Thompson here into one. Austin Hill is there, and just behind him, Kyle Larson in traffic.
And did you see Larson's hands inside of the car? I mean, he was sawing on the wheel. He told me earlier, he's like, listen, the car doesn't feel fast on the straightaway. When you get to the corner, you just don't have any control over it. He's like, it's like it loses all grip. Did you see Jeff Burton not pleased with Matt DiBenedetto right there, telling him, I believe that he was number 1.
Teammates there wrestling into turn 3. Saw Zilich and Allgaier
I think Jeb would have preferred he pushed him at some point there, but went to the inside. And it
didn't lie behind you.
It can be very frustrating here because I remember so much about last year. You hear that, just break of the throttle there for Matt DiBenedetto. When you go into the corners, it's a traditional mile and a half the way you're working. But then when you get to the straightaways, it's like a super speedway. You want to be lined up, getting pushed or pushing someone. You can make huge moves and get massive runs if you do that correctly. But if you're not, you can lose a lot of positions in one straightaway.
Thompson giving a shove to Austin Hill. It's 26 and 21. You saw them working together there. 12th and 13th on track.
Calm down just a little bit. They all have kind of gotten spread out now over the restart. They told me the restart is just chaotic. We saw that last year as well. And if you watch these guys, they generate that run right at the end of the straightaway. And you see guys pull out just at the very last second. Parker, you mentioned something earlier. Larson did a really good job of that in the Cup race last year. Be curious to see if he can time those runs out again in this car like he was able to do in the Cup car last year.
Right, it's really how you make a pass here, no matter what kind of race car you're in, whether it's an Indy car or a Nascar Xfinity car or the Cup car. It's sort of the surprise down into the corners in turn 1 or turn 3 as Larson goes by Jeremy Clements. There was some help from William Sawalich. That started further back, but he definitely in the Cup Series race last year was so good at those really late moves into the corner, catching the other drivers off guard and taking the position.
And right here, they're going to get too wide in front of Kyle. Look at the run that he's able to generate. Sieg was on the inside of Dean Thompson. They lost all their momentum. That is exactly what you want for him. And I've been a little surprised by Kyle. He's up to 13th right now, but really hasn't made the gain that we thought he would early in the race. See if he's able to get by Austin Hill here. Maybe if he can time out a run right here, that distance he's behind, if he can get a good enough run off the turn 4, not have to crack the throttle, we'll see the momentum he's going to have on the exit. It looks like he might actually have a...
I was